So your boy Cat Williams, man. Everybody, everyone knows who Cat Williams is.
Yeah,
At the gate, he's one of the GOAT comedians. Like we all know that.
for
But
sure.
he has a reputation of
I
being
don't know if he gets enough flowers, man.
he is like he is as far as his accolades go, he's very well accomplished. Very well accomplished.
Yeah.
Um some people even say he's the best comedian ever. I mean, my Mount Rushmore of comedians doesn't necessarily have Cat Williams on it, but he's in my top seven. So he's in my top seven.
Your Mount
Um
Rushmore. How much is Mount Rushmore? Is
four
five?
is
Is only
four
five?
heads. Mount
It's
Rushmore's
four.
four heads. Four. Yeah.
Four on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your top four?
So my top four would be, let me see quickly. David Chappelle for sure. Like he's just
He's up there for sure for
yeah,
me.
he's
Yeah.
for me he's way up there.
Uh-huh.
It's not even close. So it's Dave Chappelle.
Eddie, I would have put
Dave,
him one though. I would put Eddie Murphy one personally.
okay, okay. But
Dave Chappelle
Dave
number
Chappelle
two.
for me is definitely one. Eddie Murphy is actually three for me. Um, Martin is four, and two is dang. I was just thinking about this the other day. Two is Bernie Mac. That's what it was. So one is Dave Chappelle. Two is Bernie Mac. Three is Eddie Murphy, and four is Martin. That's my Mount Rushmore. So
I'm gonna tell you like this. Okay, so dang. Okay, so I don't have them in order, right?
mhm.
But damn, Mount Rushmore only get four.
You only get four,
Shit,
yeah.
that's kind of hard. That's kind of tough. It's kind
Yeah,
of tough
and,
because I
and you
got
and you don't have the excuse of having a fit spot, bitch. So you got to pick four. Mount
I
Rushmore only
love
got
some
four
honorable
heads.
mentions. Some
Yeah.
honorable mentions. Dave Chappelle. Okay, so Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy for sure. Um, bro, I love Michael Shay, dog. He's just so smart.
Yo,
Michael Shay is just so
nah, bro, he ain't.
smart.
Nah, man, not
I
Michael
know he ain't got the
Shea,
catalog. I
man.
know he ain't got the
He
catalog.
don't. That's
That,
like that's
but
like
that
that's
would be.
like putting. That's like how people be talking about Biggie. Like, bro, you ain't got enough. You ain't got
I
enough,
know.
bro. Like,
That's why I would put him as like an honorable
okay,
mention. That's why I
okay.
kind of put him as an honorable mention.
Mhm.
Um, dang. Okay, so I can't do that. So Richard Pryor,
Bro,
you
Richard
you,
Pryor before your time, man. That's nah, bro. You
but
can't.
I go back. That's not before my time. That's 80s.
It is. But you
I
but
was
but you were like a jit for
I
real
was
though,
legit,
Richard
but
Pryor.
I'm going back though, and I watched the old stuff.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I give you that.
I watched the old stuff. Like I
I give
didn't
you that.
grow up with him or anything like
Yeah.
that. Like even though he might have been around, but like I was like I watched the old stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
And so I like, oh, this guy's hilarious. Like
He
freaking
is though. He is though. Yeah.
I didn't watch what do they call it? Freaking damn the Eddie Murphy joint. I forgot what they call the one where he had the red leather joint on. You know what I mean?
Oh
I
yeah.
forgot what the name of that
What is it
special
called?
was.
Yeah.
Is it Delirious?
Delirious. That's what it is. It's delirious.
Delirious?
Delirious.
Okay,
Yes. Delirious.
Delirious, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
like that's why he kind of up there. So it's kind of like that. So like with Richard Pryor as well, some of the he was doing cutting edge stuff, you
Yeah.
know, back then,
Mhm.
and so he would be up there in terms of my Mount Rushmore. And so it's kind of hard to be like, the question is, who's in the Mount Rushmore versus who's in my Mount Rushmore? Because
Mhm.
there may be people that's in this Mount Rushmore that like I haven't, I mean, some people put George Carlin in there, but like
Yeah.
I like George Carlin. It just like not my, but like in terms of like comedian all
Yeah.
time
And his body of work and all that.
body of work
Yeah.
would George Carlin would probably be up there,
Mhm.
Um, but so I got those guys, and I really like Kevin Hart. I like Kevin Hart.
Oh
I
my
really like
god.
Kevin
Come
Hart.
on, bro.
You know,
Not on a
um,
Mount Rushmore though. That's
I don't know.
Kevin
I have to
Hart's
think about this. I have to think about this and get back
Kevin
to
Hart's
you.
a movie star. He's a movie star. That's what he is. Kind of like
He's a
he got
movie star, but I
same
know
times as Eddie Murphy and
his
Martin.
stand up, like I saw him live
Stand-up's
before
alright.
he was a movie star.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I will put him in my Mount Kevin Hart. Yeah, a lot of people don't like him. A lot of people don't
That's
like
fair.
him.
I actually like Kevin Hart, but Mount
Yeah,
Rushmore, that's kind of
and
that's
I'll
kind
put I'll put Dave Chappelle. I'll put Dave Chappelle in my
of.
for sure up there. So what did I
Yeah.
say? Dave Chappelle,
You said Richard
um,
Pryor, then you said Michael Shea, then you said Kevin Hart.
and no, I said somebody else too.
You said we were talking about George Carlin for a little bit, but you didn't put him in the Mount
Okay,
Rushmore.
I have to get back. I have to get back on the solidified.
Yeah,
So
because I was gonna say that's.
Eddie Murphy,
Mm-hmm.
Dave Chappelle,
Mm-hmm.
Richard Pryor,
Mm-hmm.
um, Damn, I don't know about that four. Oh, that's tough.
Well,
Four? That's it?
well,
Okay,
yeah,
four.
it's only four spots. It's only four
I don't know who
spots.
number four is, but Michael Shay gets honorable mention. That's all I'm gonna say that. But man, your boy Katt Williams,
Yeah, Cat
hilarious
Williams.
also.
Yeah,
Hilarious
definitely.
out, bro. He stole that
Yeah,
joke. He
yeah.
stole that joke.
Yeah,
That's Cedric
when
the
you look at
Entertainer.
yeah
Stole that
when
joke.
you look at it and you look
Come
at
on.
it side by side, because I saw like
Cedric
side by
stole
side
that joke.
comparisons, and I was like,
Cedric stole that joke.
Patrick, you kind of you kind of took the
Cedric
boat, you
stole
kind of
that
took the
joke.
skeleton of that
Dog,
joke,
that shit
and
was so
it's
funny when
it
Cedric
was
did it in Kings of Comedy.
yeah, it was funny though. Yeah, when he did King's Conner, it was super funny. Yeah,
Cause when he
it was super
like
funny.
he kind of like did the whole thing with the cigarette.
Yeah, yeah, the
And
way he
he
did,
like
yeah,
he did the
it was
whole
hilarious.
you know
Yeah,
kind of thing.
it was actually hilarious, and I can
Oh, that
understand
was
why Cat
so
would be upset because he's
funny.
like, dang, he really just took my joke and really want like he low
He
key
turned
like
into a
it turned
spaceship. He
into a
turned into
whole
a spaceship.
it's a spaceship. So, so Cat Williams, his whole thing was Cat Williams always been like a essentially like kind of like a whistleblower, low key, like about things like the inner workings of Hollywood and things that's been going on behind the
That
scenes,
dude
like
is
the wild
compelling
stuff.
whenever he
Yeah,
talks.
but he's
Whenever
just
he talks.
yeah, Cat Williams he's just super talented, like in literally everything he does as far as like vocally,
Yeah.
like comedians
He
talking,
opens his
interviewing, all
mouth
that
and you
stuff.
should listen to
Yeah, like
to Cat Williams.
that man is a certified, and he's actually very smart. He's very
Yep.
intelligent.
Facts.
And one of the reasons why that
But here's the
is
thing. But here's the thing.
mhm,
If you're a comedian, if you don't take a comedian seriously in terms of like their intelligence,
mhm.
you're actually the dumb person, probably.
Yeah, yeah,
Comedians have to be very smart, especially a
and
successful comedian,
and they have to be very observant, very
very
observant.
observant, very
Yeah,
sharp,
it's the
know
premise
how
of
to
their job.
connect point A to point
Yeah,
Z,
yeah,
like comedians, and then to make you laugh about it.
yeah, to make it actually funny. Yeah, yeah,
Y'all
it's a
bugging if y'all
real
not
talent.
respecting comedians' intelligence,
Oh,
really.
absolutely. Absolutely. Um, yeah, so your boy Cat has like a crazy viral podcast with Shannon right now.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon Sharp. Y'all know Shannon Sharp. Club Shay Shay. Poppin' podcast. I love the podcast. It's really dope. He got a lot of dope people that I've actually was always interested in just kind of hearing some of their backstory, their journey through Hollywood or whatever. So it's always interesting some of the guests he has on. So it's something I wanted to actually talk about really quickly. It's four major bombshells that Cat Williams actually spoke about in the podcast, and I'm gonna try to get through this very quickly. So, first thing was he claimed responsibility for removing a grape scene Friday after next. You know, you two we gotta say
I
grape. Yeah, so it's absurd. It's absurd.
forgot.
So yeah, you just gotta
Okay.
be aware of that. But anyways, so apparently the pimp that Cat Williams played, Money Mike, was supposed to be getting raped by the character that Terry Crews played in the bathroom. If you
Mm-hmm.
remember that scene on Friday after next. But what happened is, if you remember watching the scene, the pimp finessed Terry Crews, the Terry Crews character
Uh-huh.
in the movie, had his balls in the vice grip and all that. So it was very hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, but the scene was the way it was supposed to go down. According to Cat Williams, was that he was supposed to actually get raped. That character, right?
And you know what? I
Which is
can
wild.
believe that one because like
Yeah,
back then we
yeah,
like was really playing fast and loose with stuff.
yeah. I ain't gonna lie. And honestly, yeah, and yeah. So we actually,
I
and
could
I believe
see
it as
them. I
well.
could see that
I
being
can
in
see
the
them being in the
script.
script. Yeah, I can definitely see it being in the script. I was like, I can
Mm-hmm.
definitely believe that. Right. So he was trying. He basically cleared that up and was like, "Yo, like." And Cat Williams at the time, being like an up and coming comedian, he didn't really have the cachet to say that, but he felt strongly about it, and it worked out. Right.
No,
So
I think
if that
I
was
think Cat Williams was pretty established by then, though. I
no,
think
no,
Cat was
I mean,
as a
no, he
comedian,
Cat Cat
not as a movie star, but I think as a
Cat
comedian, he was established by then.
Cat Williams himself said, as far as like the movie, yeah, as far as being a movie star, that's what I'm saying. As far as
Yeah.
being like someone in the
Okay.
movies, he was like, he doesn't have the cachet to do it. As a comedian, yes. But as a an actor, he's like, I don't have the cachet to make this request, but I'm gonna make it anyways, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I
You
respect
standing your
that.
square. You
Yeah, I respect
standing your
that.
square.
And obviously they obliged. So that's just and if that story is to be 100% accurate, which I
And,
think it is.
and I
I
think it ended up being funnier.
yeah, it did. It did. It actually did. It did.
Even imagining the other thing, like that shit wasn't gonna be fun. That was gonna be low hanging fruit.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
big swole guy,
yeah.
and
Taking
he's a little
advantage of the
small guy taking
yep.
advantage. Like that shit is like
So the next
cheap
thing,
laughs. Cheap
yeah,
laughs. That's fart
yeah.
jokes.
So the next thing is so Ricky Smiley was the guy that, if you guys recall, one of the characters in Friday After Next was the Santa Claus. character. The Santa Claus character was the guy that was robbing people, and obviously what makes that role kind of funny because it's Santa Claus robbing people, right? So
Instead of giving
during
out
Christmas time,
gifts.
instead of giving out gifts. So and apparently their roles were swapped. Apparently Ricky Smiley came to audition for that Money Mike role, and Katt Williams was like, I mean, there were 200 guys that was in front of me. I was the 201st person that auditioned for
So they
the
clearly
night
wasn't
well.
satisfied
Yeah,
with
so
the
clearly was satisfied with the
199 that
right.
okay.
And Katt Williams was like, well, Ricky, if you were that good, he would have got basically what you're saying is, Ricky, if you were that good, then why did I end up getting a role? So basically Katt was just like reiterating the point that I'm just better, I'm funnier, and I played the role better. And actually Ricky Smiley himself even said, like, because Ricky Smiley actually responded to this whole interview, he even said himself that he did add a pimp twist that made that role even funnier. So he was like, yeah, Katt Williams, just nobody could have played that role better than Katt Williams at that time. So Ricky Smiley actually kind of agreed with him low key. But essentially that's what Katt Williams said will happen. They ended up swapping roles because
this is what I'm saying is like when you saying these things out loud in an interview, like you gotta really like be very honest or very like very much believe what it is that you're saying.
Yeah,
you could be wrong, but you gotta very much believe what you're saying because like yo, we can hear this, and you could be called to the carpet in the very next interview.
Yeah, for sure.
All these other people got platforms. Ricky Smiley got a radio show.
Yeah, Ricky
you gotta believe his audience is calling in.
Oh, absolutely.
So they all got platforms, and so like if you're gonna say some shit, you got like okay.
And Ricky Smiley been around for a minute too, so
been around for a minute.
People definitely inquire.
You know what? Shout out to him, and you know what I mean, and all flowers to him for the work that he's put in. You know, but there's levels to this, and so in terms of like, if you're a comedian, Ricky Smiley ain't gonna be on nobody's Mount Rushmore. He shouldn't be.
Yeah,
not on a respectful list.
Yeah, I don't think so. It is.
I could see Katt Williams being on people's list.
That you know, and that's what I'm saying. He's definitely there. Are people.
Ricky Smiley though.
Yeah, not Ricky Smiley. Yeah, it's definitely levels. There's definitely levels to it. And we talked about earlier about Cedric stealing Katt Williams' show, and it definitely seems like that. When you look at the footage, it definitely seems like that. So I'm just gonna move on to the next thing. And the fourth thing is this whole thing with Steve Harvey. Apparently, Steve Harvey stealing his homeless narrative.
His whole backstory, kind of his backstory,
kind of like his backstory,
story like Batman, the whole Batman backstory.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of gain sympathy, but also to gain some like some fame off of this particular backstory.
But like, no, it's not just necessarily some fame from it. The thing is like, I mean, America loves. It's not the fame. It's not,
but America does love like a backstory like that. I understand.
Yeah, like, America loves from what do you call it? From something to riches. What do you call it? From rags to riches.
From rags to riches. Yeah.
Rags to riches story.
Yeah, so like that's true.
Yeah, maybe Steve Harvey might have said, "Oh snap, let me pick up on that and like do this story." Now, does it mean that it was Katt Williams' specific homeless or unsheltered story? That it could have been anybody, you know what I mean?
And that was my thing, right? I was like, Katt, that one might be a little bit of a stretch, man. Because Steve probably did go through a lot of what you went through, like so many other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I get it, but to say that he specifically took that piece to create a narrative for himself, like from you specifically, like that might be kind of cap, bro. I think you're kind of embellishing there. You might like. I think Katt honestly feels that way, but I think there's a bit of embellishment there.